Hi, this is episode 87 of Crondos. I'm your host, Jordan Hudgens. I'm a Ruby dev and the CTO of the DevCamp platform. As we make our way through the Solid development journey, it's time to turn to the I in Solid, which represents the interface segregation principle. As with several of the other Solid design concepts, this represents a scary name for an important concept. A dead simple explanation of the interface segregation principle is that code should not be forced to depend on methods that it doesn't use. If this is still a little bit fuzzy, don't worry. I'm going to walk through a code example that clears it up. Believe it or not, this is one of the easier Solid concepts to understand and to work with. Let's start by taking a look at a program that manages a blog. Obviously, this program simply prints out the values of each method. If you run the program, you'll see that this code works perfectly. Now, what happens if we want to create a moderator class? On a side note, let's ignore the fact that a moderator class should never be connected or inherit from a blog class, since a moderator isn't a type of blog. However, in preparing for this guide, I walked through a number of different examples, and this case study illustrated the interface segregation principle the very best, and it was the easiest to understand this way. So our moderator class is very specialized. Moderators should only be able to edit a post. However, this poses a problem, because if we use code like this, you'll see that the moderator class is not only able to edit posts, but also delete posts and has access to all of the methods inside of the parent class. For practical reasons, this is bad. However, it's also breaking the interface segregation principle because we've intertwined our blog class with our moderator. And even though moderator may not directly depend on all the blog methods, it's still coupled with them since they can be called from instances of the class. Thankfully, Ruby offers us a better way of giving us the behavior that we need. By leveraging the forwardable module, we can limit the scope of what our moderator class can access. We'll start by importing the forwardable module into the file and inside of the moderator class. Next, we'll update the moderator class so that it no longer inherits from blog. With those components cleaned up, we can leverage the forwardable module def_delegators method to list what we want the moderator class to have access to. In this case, we want the moderator to have access to the blog class and the edit post method inside of the blog. Notice how this is different than having moderator inherit directly from blog. Instead of giving access to the full class definition, we're able to pick and choose which elements moderator should be able to work with. Next, we'll set up an initialize method that takes a blog as an argument. This is how we're letting Ruby know that our moderator class needs to be passed the blog class as an argument. Lastly, we can instantiate a new moderator and pass in a new blog as an argument. After running this code, you'll see that our moderator class can edit posts successfully. However, if it tries to delete a post, it gets an error because we didn't give it access to that method. Before ending this guide, I want to make one point of clarification. The walkthrough we just went through is specific to how you can work with the interface segregation principle in the Ruby language. However, since Ruby is a dynamic language, it doesn't require developers to declare class and method types. The interface segregation principle has a number of other requirements for statically typed languages, such as Java or C++. So please keep that in mind if you work with those types of languages. Ruby does quite a bit of the hard work for us when it comes to object-oriented programming. However, this is still an important concept to understand, and as a bonus, you're able to learn about the forwardable module. I hope that this has been a helpful guide to understanding the Solid development topic of interface segregation. In the resources section, I've included some links to additional sites that discuss the topic if you want to deepen your knowledge.